Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. What is up? We're doing something a little different today. I want to keep this intro brief because this video is probably going to be long and all over the place. I did a food sensitivity test called Everlywell. I'm not affiliated with them, not sponsored. I bought it with my own money on Amazon. So if you guys know me and if you've watched my videos before, then you've probably heard me say a million times, I have a lot of food allergies. I'm allergic to all nuts, which I'll go over when I go over my test results. But I already knew that about myself, like anaphylactic allergies. The whole premise of this food sensitivity test is testing your immune response to a bunch of different common foods and if you react abnormally to them. But I also avoid gluten and dairy because I have eczema, so I do have an autoimmune disorder. So it's a blood test they send you in the mail. You can order it online, like I said. I'll have it linked below if you guys want to do it, but again, I'm not like trying to promote this. Do it at your own risk, and I'm not saying by any means that it's like the best thing on the market or anything. I was just curious about it, so I wanted to try it and take everything with a grain of salt and do your own research. I'll have links below to both the website of it if you want to read about it from their perspective and some opposing articles if you want to see more of the arguments of like why this is bogus, blah blah blah. So I was neutral. I was Switzerland. I was like, I just want to try it, not buying super far into either way, and just see for myself how I felt the results were. And then I ate in that pattern following its recommendations for like a week, and I documented it. So that's what this video is going to be, but I don't want it to be like the scientific community coming after me. Like, this is just kind of for fun and more of a challenge for myself rather than like, is this the best food test you will ever take? I actually had to do it at home in Oregon when I was visiting my family over the holidays because they don't ship them to New York. You're not allowed to order them to certain states, which sounds sketchy. I didn't film me taking the test, but I just like pricked my finger and put it on their test sheet. They give you instructions. It's not that hard. It didn't really hurt. And then I mailed it in and got my results probably within 2 weeks, like 10 days maybe. It says food sensitivity is an umbrella term that encompasses symptoms that can arise, for example, from difficulty digesting food like lactose intolerance or susceptibility to the effect of a food, as in caffeine sensitivity. Okay, enough of the disclaimer. I am just gonna get into it, and I filmed me reading my results for the first time to give my reactions with you guys, and then after that I went food shopping and kind of just adjusted little things. Throughout the week that I was testing these, I tried to eat as closely to what I would normally eat as I could, just to see how much these sensitivities disrupted my like already established habits of eating. So that's why it's probably a little bit repetitive. So I'm just gonna talk through each day what I noticed and how I felt. Let's read my results. We're jumping back in time. Go. They sent me this email. I'll show you the screen. It says your results are ready. It's that time. View a digitalized report. Let's do it, kids. Oh, of course I have to log in. Okay, here we go. I finally got into my account. View results. It says ready. They were released on January 6th, and I definitely think my mom mailed it for me after I left, like the 26th or 27th. So it didn't take that long. Let's do it. Your test showed an IgG reactivity above normal to 19 foods. Yeah, see, my body hates food, honestly. This might be like really intense, you guys. I took allergen tests when I was a kid that told me like the only thing I'm not allergic to is one type of mold to some degree. So we'll see. 19 foods. I don't know what's normal. You didn't show high reactivity to any foods. Oh. Okay, so that's just like moderate. Just stick to foods within your other reactivity levels. Okay, 4 foods were moderate reactivity. Aha, cashew. Yes, I am definitely allergic to cashews, so I'm glad it picked up on that. These are allergies I actually have. Black walnut. Interesting that it's specifically black walnut and not just all walnuts. Moderate reactivity of 68. Cashew was 109. It was very close to high reactivity. Egg white is very surprising to me. 90. I don't eat eggs anymore much. I don't like make them for myself. I used to eat egg white protein like daily basically. I still love that. That's my favorite protein powder for me, but I haven't been really using it much recently. Like since I moved here, I really haven't been using my protein powder. So that's interesting. But also egg whites are just in a lot of things. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to avoid egg whites completely, but interesting. And then peanut, which of course, interesting that it's lower than cashew, but it just says moderate reactivity 61. But yeah, I'm definitely hardcore allergic to peanuts, cashews, and walnuts. So glad I picked up on that about peanut. Thank you. Mild reactivity These are gonna be the things that are probably gonna be surprising. 15 foods, let's go baby. We have almond, which yes, again, I'm allergic to, but it's interesting that it would put it lower than moderate. I don't know, interesting. Baker's yeast, odd, very random, and brewer's yeast. Not sure what the difference is. Ooh, a byproduct of the beer and wine making process, ouch. I didn't know that people reacted to yeast. That's in a lot of stuff too. Coconut, oh hell no. Oh no. I literally use coconut products for everything since I don't eat dairy usually. You guys, do you see the next one? Oh my god, nope, nope, nope. Coffee is a 37. I mean, it's mild still. That hurts my heart. Egg yolk, interesting that it's lower than egg white. Garlic, okay. See, these things are so hard to avoid. Ginger, I never really eat ginger anyway, I don't really like it. Green pea, yes, I know I'm allergic to peas, I'm allergic to pea protein. Oats, which is very surprising to me also. I thought no one, I mean, again, this is sensitivity. I keep thinking of it as allergy, but I know it's a sensitivity test. But still weird. Low though. But I use oat milk every day. And I'm not gonna give it up. I don't think I can give it up. I don't know, you guys, this is hard. Now I'm regretting this decision to like try and eliminate these things for a week. Rye, okay, I don't usually, to my knowledge, eat it. Soybean, I know I don't do well with soy. I usually avoid high concentrations of it, like edamame or soy sauce and things of that nature. Sunflower seed, I do actually think I've had problems with sunflower seeds in the past, which seems random again, but again, I just have stupid ass allergies. I don't usually eat them either. Wheat, yes, I don't eat gluten. Most of the time I avoid gluten where I can, so interesting that I react to, I mean, yeah, it's like my eczema that reacts to it. And white mushroom, that's really weird. I thought mushrooms were relatively neutral for people. I think that's all of them. Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. Those are the 19 foods I reacted to. Let me know if you guys have done this test before, how many things you reacted to. I definitely think like I'm above average, not in life, but just in food sensitivities. It's definitely skewed towards my food allergies that I already knew existed, but there were still some dark horse things on here, like eggs. I guess some people are sensitive to eggs. Oats, that's sad to me. I'm surprised it didn't have any sort of dairy on here. Like, everyone's sensitive to dairy, right? Just based on the highest reactivity, the 4 things that I never eat anyway. I guess egg whites would be the most disruptive to my everyday life because I don't eat cashews, peanuts, or walnuts for good reason. But the rest of these, guys, I literally can't give up coffee for a week. I should have maybe looked at this before I decided to do this. My initial idea with this was reacting to my food sensitivities and then eating in accordance with what it suggests for a week to see if I notice a difference. But there's some things that you guys, like my coffee with oat milk, I'll take being sensitive to that. Like, I will take it. And it's like mild, you know? It's a 37 for coffee and 21 for oats, which is like almost in normal. Mushrooms are interesting. I do eat mushrooms sometimes. I think the hardest thing would not be eating things that eggs are in, even if I'm not eating and cooking eggs directly myself. Garlic too, I usually season with garlic stuff. I don't know, it's so weird. And yeast, ugh. I'm gonna take you guys with me when I go grocery shopping next this weekend, and we will see what we can do. I'm not gonna be like hardcore strict about this because, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna drink coffee. If I can't have coconut or oat milk, there's nothing left for me in this life. Actually, no, it doesn't say rice. I could do rice milk for a week. I could do that like mushroom coffee. If I wanted to go full force with this, I could. Anyway, I'm not trying to like encourage you guys to spend $100 to do the sensitivity test, and I'm not even saying that it's the most credible thing in the entire world just by me doing it. I'm just putting it out there so you don't have to. But let me know if you have done it before, or if you're really interested and want to do it. I would love to hear what your results are like, because I just don't really know what to compare this to. I should re-listen to Tori's podcast and see if she said how many things she was sensitive to, because I feel like 19 is kind of a lot. I would say it's not completely out of left field. Like, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, I think there's a, like, they don't have every food in the entire world on this thing. So now it says show 77 normal reactivity foods. So I think there's a certain list that they pull from. So I'm not gonna read all of them, but luckily things that jump out at me when I looked at normal reactivity are avocados, bless up, asparagus, apple, bell pepper, I love bell pepper, black tea, that's good, brown rice, tea god, I can still have rice, it's very low on my reactivity, cauliflower, chia seeds, that's good. There is dairy stuff on here. Cow's milk, cottage cheese, wait, that's so interesting. Gluten is on here. What? How can I be normal reactivity to gluten, but more reactive to wheat and rye. Maybe barley I'm not reactive to. Green beans, good. That's like one of my favorite veggies to make. Lamb, I love lamb. Lima bean, interesting, because other beans sometimes like are legumes, like nuts. Salmon, tea god, I'll be eating lots of salmon. Sweet potato, I don't think I could survive if sweet potato was like highly reactive. Swordfish, not gonna be doing that. Turkey, which is good because I eat a lot of turkey. Yogurt isn't reactive, so that's really interesting that it doesn't find anything with dairy to be reactive for me. I always say, like, I try to eat gluten and dairy free most of the time for my skin, and so a lot of the times, like when I do give in and like have something as a treat or something that has it, it'll have both of it. Like it'll be like, oh, my friends were getting pizza one night and I had a slice of pizza that has gluten and dairy. It's like rare that I would have just one of them in isolation. I have in the past just had things that are dairy. My skin doesn't flare up as much as it would if it was gluten, like wheat. So that is something to consider. Maybe I can have dairy more than I thought, but in general, dairy is just not great for inflammation and like acne and hormonal stuff. So I avoid it for more than just my eczema. Okay, thank God chicken is not reactive and rice isn't. So I could do rice milk. I'm really sad about coffee, you guys. Okay, this is what it looks like. I just went to export it as a PDF. So I just wanted to see what it would look like. I'm gonna send it to my mom. You can see now just like how they stand out. So abnormal is almond. When you look at it like this, it doesn't look like a crazy amount of things. Cashew, highly abnormal, just so you guys can see scrolling through it. My boy Joseph Kwashnok did this for me. So about a week later, then I decided to start it on a Monday, so it would be a clean week of me testing these, and I went grocery shopping, specifically avoiding the things that the list told me to. One thing that I've already purchased as a replacement is rice milk. So this is what I'm going to be using in replacement of oat milk and coconut milk. Kind of has more of a strong flavor, I feel like, than oat milk, but we're gonna make do. I was trying to think of like sly ways I could get around the coffee thing, and I was like, oh, that Four Sigmatic brand has mushroom coffee that's not really coffee, but then I was like, I can't have mushrooms either. So I might have to do the matcha thing this week because that's fine. I just don't love matcha. I just freaking love my coffee. There's a baby army outside Trader Joe's. Oh, it's so beautifully empty. Veggies do I want. Love that, but it has mushrooms, so I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna do some greens. I will not be getting peeled garlic. Not that I would anyway, but I'm gonna try the balsamic glazed just because I've heard good things about it. I'm gonna skip the eggs and veer towards avocados because I couldn't live without them, honestly, so I'm glad I'm not sensitive to them. Good enough. I'm gonna get a couple lemons because I want to get back into lemon water. The aisles are honestly so beautifully empty, and the place seems a lot bigger when the wine isn't wrapping around the entire store. I already have some cauliflower gnocchi. Honestly, everyone's talking about this, but I'm not even interested in trying it. Like, I don't like kale, so why would I try it? I am gonna get these as a little sweet treat. They're pretty clean ingredients, and just if I want to bite dark chocolate, these are safe, so I'm gonna get these as a snack, one of my favorites. Okay, I do have some Vital Proteins matcha powder at home, but I want to get one of their canned matchas just to try it and see how I feel. I think we're good to go. I pretty much showed you a lot of the things while I was buying them. Gluten-free, staying away from wheat, bread, and bagels. These, which I opened on the train. I was gonna get meringues, and then I realized it's like all egg, so I got these instead. They're the dark chocolate honey mints. They're honestly so great. 3 ingredients: honey, chocolate liquor, and oil of peppermint. My sweet potato crackers, avocados. I decided to try this as a little snack. These are juicy, soft and juicy mandarins, limones, a couple of gala apples. I impulsively got salami to have with crackers and hummus, balsamic chicken, and ground turkey. My proteins that I always rely on, and then I got a couple of sweet potatoes. I got my can of matcha. I'm pretty sure, oh, are you kidding? Wheat and soy. Balsamic glaze. I think it was Tori DeSimone talked about putting it on her avocado toast, so I want to try it. And we'll see what this week brings. But right now I'm making avocado toast and putting this glaze on it. Cheers. Okay, so day one, it was pretty easy, I guess. I think I had the most motivation, and I was like, oh yeah, like let's do it. I jumped right into it, and I did pretty well. Of course, my everything but the bagel seasoning. I always love. This is what Tori did in hers too, with the balsamic glaze. So let's try it. I'm having a couple sausages, which is fine. Okay, I've never used this before. Oh, I do love balsamic, but I've never tried it on toast like this with avocado. Let's see. It's strong. I feel like I could have put a little less, but it's good. Maybe I'm just not used to it. But yeah, okay. Breakfast slash lunch, and then we'll see what I eat the rest of the day. Home now from, I guess I didn't vlog that in this, but I went to a dance workout with my friend Camille after we did some work at the wing this afternoon. So I keep forgetting I'm not fully vlogging this week. I'm just kind of doing the food stuff. I'm gonna make a sweet potato balsamic chicken bowl, which just sounds really good. Gonna roast some sweet potato with some balsamic chicken and green beans, and I'm gonna use the balsamic glaze that I got today. Again, not very different than what I would normally make for dinners. Just tossing the green beans with some salt and pepper, and I was about to add this umami seasoning from Trader Joe's that I usually use, and then I totally remembered that it's mushroom, which I'm not supposed to have, which is so bizarre. Little things like this pop up and I'm like, wait, I usually wouldn't think twice about this, but interesting. Okay, we're gonna avoid the garlic. Marissa got me these flavored olive oils when she visited, so I'm using the lemon one, and then I'm gonna cook up some sweet potato in my air fryer. These are gonna go in the oven. Made these a little thicker than I usually do, so they'd be soft in the middle, kind of like a la Dig In. If you ever get them there, they're so good. This is kind of a lot of sweet potato, but it's just oh my god, it's just one sweet potato. Bachelor time. That looks so good. They're reacting to my food. Day 2, I started strong. I was feeling good about day 1. I was that wasn't even hard. And so I started off by making matcha instead of coffee, and I was all into it. Here we go. This is the Vital Proteins matcha collagen, which I've had for a while. I'm going to add it with rice milk first, froth it up, and then just put it in the Keurig for some hot water. I'm gonna add some rice milk, kind of a substantial amount, and a scoop of matcha powder. Very green. So far so green. And add the hot water. Hoping for the best. I don't really expect to love it, just because I don't like matcha in general, but I could use a little more rice milk, if I do say so myself. My face is kind of lying. I know I hate it. I think the Vital Proteins matcha is kind of sweetened already a little, and the rice isn't too weird of a taste. Well, I'm gonna drink it. Missed my coffee, but the show goes on. Okay, update. The more I drink it, the more I like it. I think it's the initial not used to matcha flavor at the first sip, but honestly it's pretty good. I don't know if it'll replace coffee for me in the long term, but I think the vanilla in the rice milk helps a lot, and it's more creamy and less acidic than coffee, so it's kind of nice in the morning. Not a bad little switch up. Also, I just looked up on the Vital Proteins website about their matcha collagen, and it says it has about 60 milligrams of caffeine per serving, which is pretty similar to a cup of coffee. I'm pretty sure coffee is about 80 milligrams. So it says it produces a calm and steady mental energy instead of the jolt. So matcha drinkers avoid the crash that comes with coffee. So that's kind of nice. I am gonna eat something before I go to my workout just because I feel like I should have a little more energy. So this is just one of the Trader Joe's gluten-free bagels. So no wheat. In the afternoon at 3 p.m. I was out and about doing some work, and I hit a wall, and I was just so unmotivated and so tired, and I was like, you know what, I need coffee. I made it a day and a half without the coffee, and I kind of expected this from myself, but I caved. It wasn't that big of sensitivity in the grand scheme of things. It wasn't really gonna throw off my entire system, so I just allowed myself to have about 1 coffee a day instead of my typical 2 or 3. I was weak today. I caved and got coffee, which I was so good at the beginning of the day trying the matcha, and I was like, oh, this is fine. And then I hit the crash at 3 p.m. and I was like, I'm so unmotivated and so in a bad mood, and I just need coffee. So day 2 of this challenge, and I already caved and got coffee, which, you know, some things are just worth being sensitive to. End of day 2, pretty successful. I had avocado toast again, which I think I showed. I don't remember, but it's the same thing that I had yesterday, and same thing I'm probably gonna have every day. Going into day 3, I started off with having some lemon water, which I used to do all the time. I don't know why this particular week motivated me to do it. I think it was just because I was already conscious of like my eating because of this test, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make some lemon water. Another day, another matcha. Honestly, this is nice in the morning instead of coffee. Like, it's a lot more soothing. For dinner, I just made some cauliflower gnocchi and ground turkey, which you guys know is one of my go-to meals. And I'm just adding some marinara sauce. And luckily, I don't have to alter anything about this. I have started to like putting nutritional yeast on top of it. It tastes kind of cheesy, but I'm just gonna refrain because yeast was weirdly one of the things that came up on my food sensitivity test. So we're just having it plain. For day 4, I didn't really film anything. I didn't talk through it because I knew that it was getting kind of repetitive and nothing had really come up that was a problem. I went to Sweetgreen for dinner and I did my exact salad how I would normally make it without any sort of problem. So that was good. It just, these kind of things where it's something typical for me, it's just reassuring that I'm already on the right track, that I didn't even have to adjust things based on my food sensitivity test, you know? By day 5, things were still going good, still going strong. But I did start to miss oat milk. The rice milk just isn't the same. I've become very obsessed with oat milk, and it's such a bummer that this thing told me I couldn't have oats. It's the end of the day, not end of the day, it's like 5 something, it's almost 6. I don't think I've vlogged anything for my food sensitivity log today for the week. I haven't presented anything new to you guys because this morning I had matcha and avocado toast again before I left to go do work at the wing. And I went and did a workout. On my way home from the gym, it had been a while since I'd eaten and I was like, I'm pretty hungry. I'm gonna pick up a little thing of sushi from the bodega. I guess I could have filmed me actually buying it, but whatever. Select types. Basically, I really like salmon avocado rolls. And so I was like, okay, perfect. I can eat this. I can eat salmon, rice, avocado. It didn't say anything about seaweed, so I think we're good. As we know, the test said no soy, which I usually avoid anyway, these kind of things where it's like really high concentrations of soy. And so I was like, oh, perfect, I'll take it home. And I have my alternative, which is coconut aminos. And I literally have eaten 5 out of 8 of these before I realized, because it's like an alternative to soy sauce with no soy, and it tastes very similar. I actually like it better. Anyway, I realized that I'm so stupid because the test literally says no coconut either. So another failure of the week. It's just hard because there's so many of these things that are so ingrained in my routine that I already think of as alternatives. And so I'm like, oh shit, like without soy and without coconut aminos, like, am I supposed to eat sushi plain? This is just going to show me that I definitely need coconut and I definitely need coffee in my life. I'm gonna eat these last 3 pieces sauceless, sadly. And then we get into the weekend. So on day 6, it was Saturday, and during the day it was fine. I made my own food, and then that night we were going out for my friend Michelle's birthday, and we did like sharing plates. We did like cheese boards for the appetizer. And since I didn't have any problems with dairy on the test, I might as well like really get into character with this and have some dairy because I said that I didn't have a problem with it, and I normally avoid it for like my eczema. And so I had a little bit of cheese with my charcuterie, and it was good. And then my normal meal was just like chicken and potatoes and ratatouille, which was really good, gluten-free. It really checked out, except I'm sure that there was hardcore garlic in it. That was a weird thing to me, is that it said I was sensitive to garlic. I don't know, but I definitely had some garlic and I couldn't avoid it, so I wasn't about to tell the waiter to hold the garlic. The last day of this week of trying the food sensitivity, I think I did pretty well until later in the afternoon. Day 7 of my food sensitivity challenge. So basically I'm doing the same old thing with my avocado toast, which I've legitimately had every day of this challenge, and I'm not even gonna try and defend it. Except I've realized, coming to the last day finally, I was like, wow, this is almost too easy. Foreshadowing. And I'm looking at this gluten-free bread that I buy every single week from Trader Joe's, and it says contains eggs. And what's both the egg yolk and egg white? in my list of things I can't eat or I'm sensitive to, eggs. I've been eating this and being incorrect this entire week and acting like it was totally fine. Like, yeah, just another day of my avocado toast. I've got other gluten-free bread before, and I feel like it's not that common to have eggs in bread. Am I wrong? Already a fail that the entire week I thought I was like doing great, and then this has had eggs the entire time. I was hanging out with my friend Sophie, who was visiting, and we went to Levain, which is like a famous cookie place. And I know that like gluten is just a hardcore no for me. I was like, you know what, screw it, my friend's in town, I've never tried one of these famous cookies, I'm just gonna try a cookie. So I had a cookie. We're at the famous Levain bakery and we're trying cookies, and Sophie's gonna break hers open and try it for us. She got oatmeal raisin, slow-mo, ooh, gooey. Had dinner in a Mexican place, and I knew that my tacos were gluten-free. It was corn tortillas, and I think I stuck to it pretty well. Again, there's probably garlic, but that's just, I feel like it's so impossible to avoid garlic when you're eating out. Is that just me? I don't know. Tacos with corn tortillas. Oh, I have lime here if you want to use it in the guac. And our chips. Our table is very full of our things. This drink is really good. You should try it. That was my week of eating like my food sensitivity test suggested. I hope you guys found it interesting. I know going through the week, I was just thinking like, this isn't really that altering and it isn't really that crazy because I do already eat like this normally, just like a few little things. The weirdest things for me obviously were the coffee, which I didn't even try after the second day. I wanted to think of what I would adapt from this that I would stay doing, but honestly, like, I think the things that I had been eating normally that told me I was sensitive to, I eat so little of them and there's such little sensitivity that it's really not earth-shattering. My conclusion after doing this and trying it for a week is I feel like this didn't really benefit me much, and it wasn't that earth-shattering because I'm already so conscious of myself, my body, my health, and the foods that work and don't work for me, that it already made sense. Like, it was my allergies and main things like gluten that I already avoided. So my conclusion with this video that I hope is some sort of value added if anyone's interested in this is I think it's beneficial if you're having problems like digestive problems or you're having issues with food and you have no idea what's causing it and you can't pinpoint it. And personally, I've gotten a lot of things under control. Like, I had really bad eczema and it still flares up, and I still have it sometimes because I eat things like cookies on the weekend sometimes. But I know that gluten and dairy really do help that, and I found that for myself already. So if you're someone who has just been having constant problems and you don't know what's causing it, I think this could be a really good starting guideline for you to try and just get some ideas of things to try eliminating. Of course, don't take it as Bible, like go to a doctor, but it is a good starting place if you've just never even thought of how foods could be affecting you. But someone like me who's already, like, I've been thinking about allergies and food problems for my whole life, so it wasn't like that different to me. I think that's what Tori said in her podcast when she initially talked about it, was that she'd been having problems and she didn't know why, and this gave her a little better guidance. Otherwise, I would say if you're not really having any big problems and you don't notice anything with food, I don't think you need to like stop eating garlic because this test tells you to, you know? I'm gonna avoid the things that I already avoided anyway that were on it, so that's good. It just made me feel better about the decision I'm already making. Like, it made me feel good that it was like, yeah, you shouldn't be eating gluten. Like, I knew that. I did think the dairy was kind of weird because I feel like everyone is a little bit sensitive to dairy, truthfully, some more than others. When I was eating dairy consistently, I was getting like hormonal acne, and I just feel like the world could benefit from not having dairy. But again, I'm not a doctor, don't listen to me, but that's just my little 2 cents you didn't ask for. I obviously didn't really notice any big differences. I think it would have been different if there was a food, say chicken, that it was high intolerance on the test and I gave that up. Maybe I would notice that, like, oh, I feel way better and I didn't even know I was feeling bad. I don't know, but just in my case, the week didn't make any big changes. And honestly, I'm fine with that and I'm happy with how I'm living, and I'm gonna keep it up. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video. I know it's kind of different. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing anything similar to this, like what other videos you want to see. I will see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Love you so much. Subscribe if you're not already, because I do kind of health and fitnessy stuff incorporated in my lifestyle videos and vlogs living in New York City. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.